Welcome to episode 16 of Little Bobbins Knits. My name is Dani and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Little Bobbins. We have a Ravelry group and it'd be lovely if you came and joined. You can find that by searching Little Bobbins Knits. And show notes for the podcast can be found at littlebobbins.co.uk. So thank you so much to everyone who's been in touch over the last week. I always love hearing from you so much. And thank you to new members of the group and to new subscribers on YouTube. It's just lovely to have you. So I'm a day late this week and a little bit later in the day. I just can't seem to catch up with myself at the moment. I don't know what that's about. But I wanted to podcast because the Little Along started on Sunday and I'm really excited about it. So we'll have a chat about that at the end of the podcast. A quick thank you. I wanted to say thank you so much to Kristen of the Yarngasm podcast. She mentioned this podcast in her last episode and that was really lovely. I've been watching Kristen's podcast, I think, since I first started watching podcasts. So it was really lovely to hear that she watches, and yeah, she's got a very inspiring podcast. And now with dyeing her wool and vine yarns that I covet from afar, they're so beautiful. So yes, thank you so much, Kristen. So today I've got some works in progress to show you, some finished objects, some lovely things, and we'll have a bit of a little long chat towards the end. I don't feel like I have a lot to show you again, but anyway. I was watching the Bookish Stitcher podcast yesterday, with Jeanette. It's a lovely podcast, and Jeanette is she's got a really lovely energy about her. I really enjoy watching her podcast, and she was getting really excited because she was having a cast on everything evening, and I just think that sounds like such a brilliant idea. So I think I'm going to have to do that very soon. So, my works in progress. This is the only thing that I think that I've really been working on. Oh, apart from my campsite, which is now a finished object. So this is my canopy shawl. It's the test knit I'm doing for Melody, who is Mandarines on Ravelry, Be Mandarines on Instagram, and has the Mandarines podcast and blog. And it's a gorgeous shawl. I'm just loving this. I just think it's beautiful. It's making such a pretty shawl and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's blocked. So I'm just about a couple of rows away from starting the edging, and it's got that, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, Melody's put up a Ravelry page for it now, because I think she's hoping to release it on Thursday, but it's got lovely points at the edge and they're beautiful. So I'm looking forward to starting that edging. I think it's going to be really lovely. I'm knitting it in Old Maiden yarn, the superfine alpaca and silk, sport weight, in the pumpkin pie colourway, and it's such a golden, delicious orange, really very pumpkin pie-y. So I'm loving working with the yarn and loving the shawl pattern, so that is a really fun project. I'm just keeping that in my little bunnies bag. It's a little one that I made. Got my little Old Maiden Aunt badge on there. So my second work in progress has got barely any work, and it's my Follow Your Arrow 2 mystery shawl. So if you don't want to see, do look away for a bit. So I really haven't done much. The new clue came out yesterday and I'm nowhere near being able to start that yet. I've knit from this lifeline down, and that's it. I can't believe it. It's got an interesting texture in this part, and there's more of that to come. you can look again now. So yeah, I haven't got hardly any work done on that. I usually, for mystery knit-alongs, I will just not do anything, not do any of like real life stuff while I'm doing the mystery knit-along, so that I can just get that done, and when the clues come out I can knit them up. And I haven't been able to do that this year, so it feels so strange being behind. But never mind, I'll catch up. So I'm knitting that in Eden Cottage Yarns, Hayton 4-ply. It's the 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon in the steel colourway, which I'm loving. But yeah, just not enough time to knit on that, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll be all caught up next week. Hi Bobbin. So that's everything that I've been working on. So now for finished objects. I finished my campsite shawl. And it was very exciting because I actually finished it in time to include it in the Ichigo Abroad Treat Yourself knit-along. Which was good because I didn't actually think that I'd be able to do that. I didn't think I'd get it finished in time, and oh, Bobbin is being so needy. It's okay. You're a good boy. But it's finished and blocked and I just love it. You good boy. And it's huge. I don't know how I'm going to be able to show how big it is. I measured it and it's 67 inches wide at this top edge and 31 inches deep. Hi. So it's very big and very cosy. I knit this in the UK Alpaca Superfine Alpaca and Blueface Leicester blend, and it's a DK weight. And I was really put off knitting double knit weight shawls because I thought they'd be really bulky, but actually it's a really lovely weight. It's cosy and it's not really that much heavier than a fingering weight. Maybe because alpaca's quite light, I don't know. But I'm so pleased with it. It's a really, really, really lovely shawl. I made a few mistakes on it, as was the theme of this shawl, so I had to rip it back a few times before it was finished. But I got there in the end. You're advised in the pattern to use a stretchy bind off, so I used a suspended bind off. I don't know if you can really see, but I had bind off woes with it. I tried a couple of different bind offs and I wasn't happy with the look of any of them. But the suspended bind off seemed, it seemed to be the least noticeable bind off. It seemed to blend in okay. But I'm still not thrilled with it. I don't know. I seem to be having that at the moment. I'm quite critical of bind offs because I want them to really blend in with the pattern. It inspired a purchase actually, but I'll show you that in Lovely Things. But I'm very, very, very happy with this shawl, and I've worn it already a few times and it's very, very warm and very cosy. And I can't wait to knit another DK weight shawl because they're lovely. And it's very good for, I wear it to yoga, or I wore it to yoga this week. And it's very handy because you can use it as a blanket in the sort of relaxation. Bobbin, you're so close to the screen there. Getting a right bobbing close up, aren't they? So yeah, it's like a huge cosy blanket as well as a shawl. But when you've got it around your neck, it doesn't feel bulky. So yeah, I really, really love that. My next finished object came and grabbed me and I couldn't sleep until it was done, practically. I got a Skeins in the Stacks on Instagram and she's also Skeins in the Stacks on Ravelry and has an Etsy shop called Skeins in the Stacks where she dyes yarn based on literary references. Lovely yarns. She's actually got a sale on at the moment, so do have a look at her Instagram and her Etsy shop. But she sent me a picture from a book that she'd found and said, wouldn't this be great in Hexie Puffs? And so it had to happen. This is just the craziest teapot cozy I've ever seen. Come here, bub. I've got to put you on there. Good boy. So yeah, it's a completely... Oh, baby, sorry. It's a completely mad tea cozy made of all of my slightly misshapen Hexie Puffs. I love it because it's mad. But the picture that she found is in this book, Autumn Story by Jill Barklam. Oh, Poppy, you just keep getting stuff to the face, I'm so sorry. But yeah, there's the picture. Isn't it so cute? And there it is on the table. I love these illustrations. Doesn't that just look so cosy? So that's the picture that she sent me, and yeah, I just couldn't rest until it was done after seeing that. It was quite, it's not done particularly well. I haven't sewn them particularly neatly. It was more of an exercise to see if I could do it than keep it really neat. And I think the slightly Frankenstein-esque stitches kind of add to the rustic charm of it, really. You good boy. But I started with this sort of flower round the edge here. I sewed those ones together. And then I just sort of worked outwards, occasionally putting it on the teapot and trying to sort of sculpt it into a quite rounded shape, which was quite difficult because they're not... The shapes don't really want to make this ball type shape. So some of them have had to be a bit squished. Where's a squished one? So like this one. Is that a squished one? Hang on. Oh, I can't see now because it's just a mess of colour and craziness. But some of them I haven't sewn on each of the sides. I've sort of sewn over one of the sides. Yeah, like that one. Sort of goes into a V shape where it should have the straight edge down here. So I've sort of tucked it in to those ones. Does that make any sense? So that it creates the sort of rounded shape. I've, yeah, just improvised with it a bit. I've sewn those together around the handle. I was thinking of doing a little closure here, like a button loop, just to go over to keep it really secure. But I don't think I will. And it's got the little hole there for the spout. And I was thinking about putting a pom-pom on it, but I'm not sure. I think it's crazy enough without a big pom-pom. Tilly Trout from Tilly Trout Knits suggested a little bumblebee, and I love that idea. I think that might be a cute thing to do. But at the moment I'm just sort of sitting with it and it'll tell me if it needs anything else added. But the more I look at it, the more crazy I think it is. But yes, it just had to be done. So it used 42 Hexie Puffs, I think. And it did take a while to sew together. It did make me sort of think, do I really want to make an entire blanket if it took that long to sew together a tea cosy? But I still do. I'm thinking that I'll just sew patches together every so often when I gather some Hexie Puffs, because doing them all at the end might be a bit of an overwhelming thing. But yeah, I'm pleased I did it. I think it's funny. So thank you so much, Skeens and the Stacks, for the idea. And thank you for reminding me about a book that I remember reading when I was younger. It's lovely. So, on to lovely things. As I just mentioned, I am having a bit of a cast off, or bind off. What would it be called? I just am tending to be quite critical of my bind offs because I don't want them to be like a harsh line at the end of my project. I want them to blend with the project. But I remembered hearing about this book, Cast On, Bind Off by Leslie Ann Bester. And so I ordered this, and this came today. So I've been having a little look through, and it looks great. It's got really clear pictures, and I love that it's ring bound so that it will sit open in front of you when you work from it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a good look through this. And it shows you how the different cast-ons will work with different stitches. So how it will work with stocking stitch and rib. So I think that's really clever. So I'm looking forward to having a really good look through this book. Very interesting. It's alright though. And then I haven't had a chance to look through this at all, but I had to order this after seeing it on so many great podcasts. Sounds like it's going to be a really, really valuable resource. So just flicking through, it's absolutely packed full of information. So I'm really excited to get into that. I also got some really lovely minis in the post this week from Kira, who has the Mum of Three Knits podcast, which is quite new. I think she's on her second or third episode, and it's a really lovely podcast. She lives quite close to me actually, and yeah, she knits beautiful things, really lovely things. And she sent me some minis, which was really exciting. Oh, and she spins beautifully as well. She just got some fuzzlings. Very exciting. She's spinning them on this completely cute, tiny Turkish spindle. It's just so adorable. So yeah, if you haven't watched the podcast, do go and watch it. I'll put links in the show notes. But yes, she sent me these lovely minis, which is very exciting. And this one is one that she dyed herself with Kool-Aid, which I thought was so lovely. That's a really lovely thing to add into my blanket. But yeah, they're beautiful. Love these orangey shades. So nice. Look at that one. Really fun. So I'm really excited to knit those in. Another lovely thing, the lovely Anya, who is, no, I'm not going to pronounce this right, Leslie Sujteg. I'm sorry, Anya. I've no idea how I'd even start to pronounce that. But Anya sent me an amazing package full of vegetarian sweets and tea, which was so exciting. I'm having one of the teas now, and it's very delicious. But I have no idea what it is, so which one's that, Anya? Because it's yummy. So thank you so much for that package. It was really, really lovely. So Little Along news. If you haven't heard about it already, Little Yellow Uke Crafts, Zena and I are hosting a joint knit along where you knit little things, or for little people, or you littlify stuff that's bigger, or you knit a little part of a larger thing. There's loads and loads of options, and people have already started knitting things, and they're just so fun. I've been having a think about what I'm going to cast on for the Little Along, and I've realised I have no socks on the needles, which is just not okay. So I think I might have to cast on some socks. But also, I've set up my little homespun house bag. I think this is going to be the bag I use for my Hexie Puffs. But I also would like to knit a Bird of Happiness. And I've got this yarn, that Sarah, who is Love Sock Wool, she sent me this mini skein for when we had a mini skein swap. It's just so pretty, isn't it? It looks like it's hand spun. It's just beautiful, and I've just decided that that has to be a bird of happiness. So I've got that in here as well, with some needles I'm going to knit it on. And some other skeins for Hexie Puffs. And I've got my stuffing in this little bag that some of my yarn came in from the wool barn. Perfect little bag for stuffing. So that's my little along kit bag. So I'm hoping by the end of the little along I can have a few Hexie Puffs, a bird of happiness, or two maybe, depending on how fun they are to knit, and a pair of socks. I'm not sure which pattern yet. I did pre-order the new Rachel Coopy book, which I'm really excited about. I think I saw on her Instagram that she started posting them out yesterday, was it? So that's very exciting. So they might be a pair from that book. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to casting someone. I hope I have more to show you next week, because I hope I've cast on lots of things. I think that would be a good thing, nice and re-energizing. So some of you have started and finished projects for the Little Along already, which is so fun, so exciting. I need to put up the finished objects thread so that you can add them all in there. I'm still working out prizes, but so far we've got up to the value of $10 pattern, giftable pattern on Ravelry, which is really exciting, from a lovely friend of the podcast. Another very kind friend of the podcast is donating some stitch markers, and the winner can choose what kind of stitch markers that they get. So they can be dangly ones or the ring ones, so that's really fun. Sally Jane from the Pink Hair Girl Knits podcast and knit pattern designer has donated a set of her Drakensberg hat and mug cozy patterns. This one, which I love so much. I love that mug cozy. So that's really great. So you can win a set of the cozy and hat patterns. We've also got the lovely bag from Deb at Fondant Fibre, and my mum's donated a prize, and it's these lovely mini skeins from the Knitting Goddess, which is so exciting. Aren't they beautiful? I got a set of these as well. She treated me to some too. But yes, so that's the prizes that we've got so far, which is really exciting. So very fun. So keep adding your finished objects. Well, start adding your finished objects when I make the finished objects thread, and keep chatting in the threads, and keep sharing your knits on Instagram with the hashtag LittleAlongCal. You've been doing that already, and that's so much fun finding them on there. It's really, really good. So yes, exciting. I'm still in the process of getting cup cozy swap ideas formulated in my head. So as soon as I've done that, I'll start up a thread where you can sign up. Probably won't be until next week, so I'll let you know about it on Monday's podcast. But yeah, that'll be lots of fun. And Yarn is Fun, who's Sarah, she suggested that we also add in a postcard of where we live, which I thought was a lovely idea, and maybe one of our favourite tea bags or something. So that sounds like a lot of fun. So I think that's it for this week. I'll endeavour to cast on some fun things this week so that I have more to show you and try and get a bit more progress done. But thank you very much for watching. It's really, really lovely to have you here, and I'll look forward to seeing your little long projects in the threads and on Instagram. Sorry, my brain just completely went then. And I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.